Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, namaste, sat sri akal to everybody. My name is Author Sherry. Welcome to the Author Sherry Show. I'm working as an international professional public speaking coach and global conference speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we take this opportunity to bring the best of the best people in these interview series to make sure that you are learning at such a level where you can start adapting those things into your business. And today we have such fantastic and phenomenal personality with us. He's a sales and marketing consultant, and in his career spanning 3 decades, he has helped building up many brands in diversified industries and has mentored, trained, and inspired thousands of salespersons. Through his professional experience, he is contributing all these years and the knowledge that he has gained while working with the promoters, directors, CEOs of the organizations, and his mentors and all the teams in small and big companies. Despite his immense experience, he still considers himself as a learner and emphasizes on the fact that the word learning includes earning, and therefore imbibes the same thought amongst his mentees, circle, and teams. He has positioned himself as the possibility of creativity and contribution, and he believes in giving back to the world by way of sharing what he has got. He's on a mission to upgrade the skills of people working in the domain of sales and marketing through workshops, trainings, guest lectures in educational institutes and corporates. He is a TEDx speaker, a laughter ambassador, conducts stress management workshops, also founded a social project, Fake Mat, an anti-car little program. Wow, this was quite elaborative. Let's welcome our guest of the day, Mr. Rajeev Narang. Rajeev, sir, welcome on the Author Sherry Show. It's a pleasure to have you again. Last time we had this discussions with something related to corporates, but this time I'm sure it's going to be big discussions on the side of branding and transformations, because this is a very different episode which we're going to give back to the audience today.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much for inviting me here. And yes, it is going to be different. We are going to talk about many more things beyond, what we had been discussing last in terms of communications and the communication skills. This is going to be a lot about branding and how transformations in corporates at every level can actually, bring in the possibility of growth for every organization. And I'm so happy to be with you here, and I'm ready for it. Go kill.
Awesome. Great. Super. So your profile says transformation consultant. Your profile mentions that you are a transformation consultant. Can you please elaborate ये transformation consultant actually में आपकी नजर में क्या है और आप इस transformation consultant को जी कैसे रहे हो?
Oh wow. So yes, मेरे लिए the word transformation has always been there since the day I learned about business. Transformation is what goes through in the process of, you've seen a pupa getting converted into, or rather transformed into, a butterfly. For me, when you are at a particular stage, you are at a particular level, you are at a particular form or format, and then you transform yourself completely to a new format, a new form, and a new shape and a new being, which is, say, from pupa to butterfly. So for me, when I talk about being a transformation consultant, I am responsible through that whole process of being from pupa to butterfly. For me, it takes care of, creation of a future, creating your business goals, and then working towards and creating your present of what we intend to do. So it's in its very basic format, I would simply say I help organizations, or I would say I will help companies to become organizations. I help companies to get transformed into organizations where, when they're, especially when you have these promoter run companies and they want to get converted into executive run companies, how to really, help and create a process where you can actually delegate, learn to delegate. It's very difficult to do that. So that is the process. I also say that I help creating, brands out of products. So products get transformed to becoming a brands, and also the people becoming professionals. So at three different levels of products, processes, and people, the transformation takes place. And transformation is a process in itself, and transformation is the end. So what you're saying is you are being transformed, and then you are transformed. So it's that, and I play a role in every aspect of this. That is where I call myself as a transformation consultant. And any organization, whatever be the stage, you could be starting your own brand right now. You're just launching a new product category. Whether you're a startup or you move to a particular level, and you said, okay, I've created a business of 25 crores now in last 3 years, 4 years. I want to now take it to the 50 crores business. There will be a lot of things which will have to go into there. From choice of people to choice of processes. The products are there, and then understanding of better market and everything, and then you have to go to the next level, and I play a role in taking everyone to the next level. Amazing. Wherever they are. Yeah.
राजीव सर, कोई ऐसा प्रोसेस आप बता सकते हो जैसे ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन का, you follow that ready reckoner for any organization, like you start with this, then you follow this, then you land up here. Is there any model you follow in particular, if you like to share?
See, I would say it like this: every organization, every company has their own journey. If the DNA of a brand, DNA of a company is very different from each other.
Yeah.
However, let's not forget that the principles of business, principles of marketing, the P's of marketing, everything doesn't change. The principles remain the same. It is only how that we adapt it to whatever is required for a particular product or a brand. And therefore, there is no specific, I would say, so there is a track. But then it is not something, a model which will be immediately, adapted to or copied to another business. So all businesses are different. Their markets are different. Their aspirations are different. And when the aspirations are different, automatically you choose to, you choose to go to take a different route to reach your goal. Just to tell you, an example is that I've been working with three, four organizations who were not competitive to each other, but then their business, their target audience were the same. So for example, if one organization was using the hardware consumables to reach out to the carpenters and the painters and the architects and the interior designers, there was a paint company who was also dealing with talking to the same set of people. So while these two companies had the same goal, but their approach towards business, their approach to a market would be different, because the way consumer actually invests on their product lines are different. So everybody's DNA. So I match the, whatever is required to be done, create strategies, make plans, help assist getting onto their, the journey based on their DNA, their business profile. So model is the same. Model is there. There's a principal model, but then the adaptation is all different.
Adaptation is different, and you are a transformation doctor. तो आप पहले मरीज को भांप लेते हो कि उसको क्या चाहिए, या उसकी एक्सपेक्टेशन भी देख लेते हो कि ये दवाई कड़वी खाएगा या थोड़ी सी मीठी खा लेगा, क्योंकि इलाज तो करना ही है. And can you actually give one such example, without mentioning the company's name, कि कोई ऐसा corporate जो आपने बिल्कुल start से शुरू कराओ, a startup, and you have actually transformed? Can you just give us a little background of that story? We'll be really happy to have that.
Sure. Yeah. Great. See, there are many of them actually speaking.
Yeah, I'm sure there are many of them, but
there are many of them.
Bhi batao,
so there is this. There are actually two very interesting brands that I've worked with, and I've started from the time when they उनका logo भी मैंने बनवाया यार. I know I sketched that this is how it happens, and it works around. And I am very proud of that situation. But I'm proud of that where we are today. In 11 years' time, we have moved from a zero company to a 300 crore company. And so I'm not saying that I have done it, but I know that I have played a very important role there. I know that there's a lot of contribution which has gone in there. And so at every step, while the whole management, the promoters, the CEOs, and the sales teams, and the national sales manager, everybody was doing their own part of business. But at the same time, you continue to create, a background story which unified each and every effort and reach out to the targeted customers and their customers in terms of consumers. So that is one thing which I would say that I mean, I have contributed there and I have got a lot of from there, because that is how the complete, the journey of the organization. It takes you through lots of learning. And as you mentioned while introducing me, learning brings in earning. So I have learned a lot there. But that is where I believe that from an unknown brand to people, and when I say people, the influencers and the target customers actually knowing that brand I think is remarkable, and I feel very proud of it.
That is incredible. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So there are so many stories with Rajeev ji who have actually transformed. So he's living that statement of transformation consultant, and that is what actually intrigued me to ask कि उन्होंने ऐसी कौन सी organizations को बनाया है. So let's move, Rajeev sir, with the next question, which I am actually very curious to ask from you. I am a PS coach and I mentor those who want to position themselves as brands in their respective domains. So, sir, I want to ask you, are the rules of the game same for the product branding and personal branding?
Yeah, lovely question. I was not really ready for this, but anyway, yes. So one, I must first of all let me congratulate you being the the premium and the very prime and number one public speaking coach in India, and I really feel very happy every time I see you online, offline, anywhere, and I see you speaking. I can easily see what your mentees would be, because the impact that you actually leave behind every time you speak, there is so much to catch, receive, and learn out of that. I must congratulate you, and I'm very happy the way you are going. So coming to your question, and that question is coming from somebody who himself is a brand. Imagine. So I think I don't have to tell anybody what can be done to become a brand, because you are anyway a living example of that, how you really become a brand, for being an unknown person to becoming a number one public speaking coach in India. People know you with the kind of groups that you are, the kind of communities that you're managing, with the kind of memberships that they have, the people who are following you. I think you already are a brand. So everyone who wants to know about how to become a personal brand, Sherry is the person, not me. First of all, and because you've known it, and I'm sure because you have gone through it, your mentees and your people in your community who really want to become a personal brand, they would see you and see your trajectory, the way you have gone from place to place, point to point, and that is exactly what needs to be done. First, to answer your question, whether the rules of the game are same, I would say the principles of the game are same. Rules change. From product to people, the rules change, because again, as I said, for in your previous question, the playground changes, right? Because the playground changes, the rules of the game change. So it is like the same thing, that when your basketball rules cannot be actually applied to football rules. Similarly, not to cricket ground rules. But the principles of business, the principles of the game remain the same. You have to have your sportsman spirit in place. You have to have clarity of your goals. You have to have the firm plan, that the way you want to go ahead and play. You have to have your strategy right. You have to have your interfaces and engagement with your audience right. Everything has to be the same. But then the rules change because you're playing a different game every time. So in terms of, if we talk about product and people, at the end of the day, if you notice, both of them are actually nothing else but a promise to give something, to add some value. So whether a person or a product, they're doing the same job. Both of them actually have to get the same, mind space of the consumer, the target audience. So it's the same. However, when the opportunities or the possibilities of marketing or reaching out to your target audience are a little different. So while a personal brand can do a lot of work on online social media space without really having to create a lot of offline activation, product can't really do that. Both the aspects are really required. So accordingly, the game has to happen. But at the end of the day, the promise remains the same. If I have to be if I'm a product, I have to say I add value to what you're doing. Because you are a personal brand, you are saying the same. I add value to what you are doing. So the promise remains the same, the goal remains the same, but the rules are definitely different. And I repeat, for personal branding, how to do it, Sherry is your man.
By the way, that was a mind-blowing answer, and I think nobody could have better answered except you, and you know that. So thank you for giving me as an example into this question and
No, of
making it
course, you are a
connected.
brand. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Coming from you really means a lot. It's all your blessings. सर आपने अभी रिसेंटली किताब भी लिखी है और
Yes.
इस किताब का नाम है गेट अप एंड एराइज. इनफैक्ट गेट अप के बाद कॉमा है और गेट अप एराइज. आई लव द टाइटल एंड योर बुक गेट अप एराइज हैज बीन जस्ट लॉन्च्ड. आई एम इंट्रिग्ड बाय अ स्टेटमेंट workshop in a book on the cover.
Yes.
So can you please explain that? And I would like to, by the time you answer, I would like to show the book cover also to our audience so that they can also just have a look at. This is the book cover.
Wow, I love it.
Thank you. It
Thanks,
simply
thank
looks
you, Sherry.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so it says Get Up, Arise. That's the title of the book. And if you see in the finer word, it says Boost Your Sales Success. And
Correct.
then it says Workshop in a Book. So starting from your question, workshop in a book, what does it mean? And you were very intrigued by that. So let me tell you the background story, and then I think it will become a lot of thing. You must know that I'm not an author kind of a person. I have not written books. This is my in my 30 years of experience. This is my first book. So I'm a debutant, and I'm as young as anybody else. Okay, so I'm a debutant author, and this book is about sales. It's about hardcore sales. It's a sales training book, and it's based on a workshop. So and how did it happen? I'll tell you. So Boost Your Sales Success is the name of a workshop that I have been doing for a couple of years. Now, Boost Your Sales Success came because while working with the SMEs and the different organizations, and small, especially my customers, as I said, have mostly been SMEs who want to go to the next level. While I was working with them, I was appointing their, helping them and assisting them, hiring the right team, developing them, and also telling them this is what is real. I realized that none of these, and I would say none, I hate to say that, but it was none of them actually had training, especially to the sales training, sales team as a part of their agenda. Now, when we are a promoter or an organization, how does people think? How do they think? यार मुझे मेरे पापा जी ने सब सिखाया था तो मैं इस गद्दी पे आके बैठा हूँ और मुझे ये काम चलाना है. अब मेरा बेटा आया सेल्स टीम आई, हम उसको क्या बोलते हैं? हम उसको कहते हैं अरे जाओ यार, तुम्हारे लिए मैंने प्रोडक्ट अच्छा बना दिया, सब कुछ अच्छा कर दिया, अब जाओ मार्केट में जाओ, तुम्हें मार्केट सब सिखाएगी. अनफॉर्चुनेटली आज की डेट में इतनी कॉम्पिटिटिव मार्केट है, मार्केट हालत कुछ नहीं सिखाती है, थप्पड़ लगाती है और कहती है भाग जाओ वापस, बहुत है और करने के लिए. और उस वक्त गैप मिलता है आपको ट्रेनिंग, या वो ट्रेनिंग का गैप में नजर आता है, जब लगता है कि यार टीम है, लोग हैं, काम करने में इंटरेस्टेड भी हैं, बट देन जितनी बार वो मार्केट जाते हैं उतनी बार उनको काफी सारे ऑब्जेक्शंस देखनी पड़ती हैं, काफी उनको हैंडल करना पड़ता है. और मुझे लगता है कि हमारे एसएमईज में जो ट्रेनिंग को लेकर के अभी भी वी आर नॉट रियली investing on people training programs, that is where I saw the gap. तो उस वक्त मैंने ये बोलूं अगर हिंदी में कि बीड़ा उठाया कि जो टीम मैं हायर करा रहा हूं और जो मैं चाहता हूं मार्केट में सक्सेस स्टोरीज क्रिएट हों, तो मैंने उन टीम्स को ट्रेन करना भी शुरू किया. मैं ट्रेनर भी नहीं था पहले, I'll be very honest. मैं ट्रेनर भी नहीं था. Then I started to train them because all my years I would know that आप जब मार्केट में जाते हो या आप कहीं पे भी जाते हो, I mean I'm trying to make a point here. I have to be trained enough, convinced enough myself to make sure what I'm going to tell to people here are going to, they are going to get convinced and they understand what I am saying. Yes. So sales team की training बहुत जरूरी थी. That time I started training them, created some modules. In my experience, I had also been trained by many people. So I had learned. So I created those, the modules. And उनको मैंने सिर्फ अपने clients के लोगों को करना शुरू किया. And then when it happened, then I thought, why should I not? Actually, there will be so many companies जहाँ पे किसी को भी option नहीं है. So then I created this platform called Next Level Training Workshops, future ready, to make people future ready. And I started doing these workshops called Boost Your Sales Success. There's another module on, effective presentation, how to make it. So I started this workshop where I was doing small, very economically priced paid workshops because free की किसी को मतलब इज्जत नहीं होती है. So I want people to pay and then do it. So I started doing these workshops. And those workshops, when I realized that people were coming in, they were very one-to-one kind of workshops. And then they would learn, and then they would say and come back and say thanks to me that okay, we learned and we used what you told here. So फिर बीच में I thought let's me convert it and increase my reach, not my reach, that this training that I am giving it to only handful of people in every workshop should let it go to everyone and in the world, whoever
Amazing.
wants to do it. And I thought I'll convert it into a book. So when I wanted to say it in a book, so it's a workshop which has been converted into a book, and I love to call it a sales workbook. So because the book has been formatted exactly in the way the workshop is, you have to go one by one, do some exercises, fill up some forms for yourself. Similarly, the way we do it in the workshops, the book has been designed in that fashion. So people will actually go through the process of a workshop, and they would be really feeling, they should be feeling, if they really get involved and engaged with that, and if they're intentional about it, that as if they are, taking up a workshop, they are participating in a workshop. So that is why workshop in a book.
अमेजिंग. इनफैक्ट मैं सब व्यूअर्स को यही बता देता हूँ राजीव सर कि मैंने जब आपकी ये वाली वर्कशॉप अटेंड करी थी फर्स्ट टाइम, I never saw you on the stage delivering a workshop. That was the first time when I saw you on the stage with around 100 people in the room, and trust me, you were outstanding. The energy you bring in the entire hall, the way you interact with people. एक सबसे बड़ी खासियत वर्कशॉप फैसिलिटेटर की होती है, वो किसी को ना आंख झपकने नहीं देता. और आपकी वर्कशॉप में आपने सेल्स के टॉपिक को इतना इंटरेस्टिंग बनाया हुआ था, and I could see the high level engagement and people were actually dying to learn more. I think that is the great quality you have, and it is so humble of you to say that you are not a trainer and author, but I know आप उससे ज्यादा हो, और वो आप कभी भी आप accept भी नहीं करते हो, and that is where your humility is. But let me tell you this, the concept which you have created, workshop in a book, it's a sales workbook. I think this is a great idea, and this is going to contribute a lot to SMEs, to corporate sales people who are actually looking for such kind of a book, जो वो apply करके real time secrets को, real time strategies को, they can apply into their sales jobs, and they can bring great results for the organizations they are working with. सर, इसमें से कोई एक ऐसा आपको फॉर्मूला अगर आप बताना चाहो, मतलब वैसे तो पूरी बुक पढ़ेंगे लोग, लेकिन कोई एक ऐसी चीज जो आप बताना चाहो कि हाँ ये वाली चीज बहुत बढ़िया है, कोई भी एक ऐसी चीज आप शेयर करना चाहो थ्रू दिस इंटरव्यू, दैट विल बी वेरी गुड, वंडरफुल.
हम यहाँ एक ब्रेक लेंगे शेरी, बाहर से आवाज आनी शुरू हो गई है, मैं इसका जवाब देता हूँ आके, मैंने इसलिए पॉज डाला बीच में. गिव मी, अलाउ मी अ मिनट, ठीक है?
श्योर,
राइट.
Yeah,
I mean, interesting, very, very interesting. You're right. I mean, there are a lot of things which I wanted to say here in the book, and which I have. But before I tell you about anything out of the book, I would also like to say here, yes, this book is very important for, as you rightly said, for all the sales people who want to kind of, assist themselves and create and upgrade themselves to learn. But at the same time, I think it can be very useful for sales managers who can actually use it as a sales tool to train their own teams without really having to investing a lot of money on sales training. So that can actually be coming as a very important handy tool for them. Now, coming from a part of the book, so this book actually takes us through from the journey of all the challenges that we broadly face in the sales business, which are three basically, which talks about how to generate leads, then how to convert those leads into business, and then also how to retain business. But there is one very interesting rule which I learned many years ago from my mentor, and that rule is called 20-4 rule. Okay. Now this is, and believe you me, I think this rule is something which anybody can use in his or her life without who's also not even remotely associated with sales.
Okay, that is 20-4 rule.
20-4 rule. Okay. Now this 20-4 rule is about yourself, yourself, the way you are. Okay. So there are 4 20s, 4 types of 20s. So first 20 is your top 20.
Okay.
Top 20 inches of your face, your body. Okay. So just imagine you're either going in for a sales meeting, or you're going to a date, or you're going to make your public, speech on stage, or you are going to just be in your office and you are just amongst your colleagues, or you are going to whatever you're doing. Fine. So these top 20 inches actually define how you present yourself, right? So when I talk about your face, one, you have to be well groomed. आप अगर मैं यहाँ पे बैठा हूँ आपके सामने और मेरे सोचे बाल जरा ऐसे हिले हुए होते और मैं नहा के निकल के आता नहीं होता तो मैं शायद appropriate नहीं लगता. Carry a smile because that creates a positivity. Yeah, don't essentially look sad. I mean, so it's about how you are your top 20 inches. This frame on top actually looks like when you are going out and creating a proposition. So while doing a sales proposition, you are going to talk. People have to look up to you. Yes. Be tidy. If you have a beard, make sure it is trimmed well. Don't look like messy. Especially, you know what happens. I've seen मैं अपने workshop में भी ये specially demo करके दिखाता हूँ. Summers में, especially in North India, what happens? It's very you are very sweaty, and you will end up saying, "Arey sir, hello sir, how are you?" I mean, who wants to shake that hand, man? Nobody. Yeah. So I generally tell people don't do that. I mean, so carry a deo along with you, smell nice, and smile nice. So that is the first top 20. The next 20 are the 20 seconds that you have. The first 20 seconds that you have while making a conversation, or just before that when you're there, those 20 seconds are the most important 20 seconds, because then you have to do is just roll your eyes, see what all is there on the walls. I'm going to, this company I've come to find. So they, oh wow, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, for many awards, national award, wonderful. And this looks nice, etc. Yeah. And so what happens is you've observed all that, and you know that what level of people we are going to talk to, and especially if it is you're already in somebody's one person's room or chamber. So imagine if I'm going to Author Sherry's room office and I see many certificates, photographs with the eminent personalities, what people are saying about you. I know how your office looks like. I'm sure it must be looking like so many good things. So when I go there, I say, Author Sherry, my name is Rajeev Narang and I have come from this. No, I don't think I'll do this. I say, hello, Mr. Sherry. My name is Rajeev Narang. I'm so happy to be meeting a person who's so full of positivity and such an achiever. I think it's really nice. So the moment what all I have seen in those first 20 seconds actually have given me an opportunity to start my conversation on a very positive note, right? And that is exactly how those 20 seconds will define the next 20 words that you're going to speak out of your mouth. Usi pe to depend karega na. I mean, you're going on a date and you really see, okay, so your girlfriend has worn some nice dress and it looks like it's a great, she looks nice. Your conversation will start with, I think that's a wonderful dress that you're looking. You're looking much smarter and hotter than what you were looking last time. Whatever you want to start with. Sorry, no offense, guys and girls. I think you love dating, right? All right. So that is exactly. So first, based on the first 20 seconds, the 20 words get defined, and the last 20 words that I'm talking about are the first 20 steps that you take towards a person when you're going to meet. The bounce in your steps will define how confident are you for this meeting. If you're not too prepared, if you're not ready for this conversation, you will be a little drowsy, you will be heavy on your feet, and move accordingly. But the moment you are prepared, you know the answers, you know the solutions, you brought in the best fit for them, you will be, proudly, you're going to be there and talking about it. So I think that rule is something which has altered my life. I have always prepared for this 20-4 rule when I'm going for anything. And I'm saying anything. Even if I have to go on stage and I make sure whatever is going on in my mind, whatever is going on in my life at that particular moment, I don't allow that to impact me. The bounce in my steps while moving towards the stage define where my speech is going to be, leading to. So I think this is one rule which has altered my life, which has transformed my life, and I think it can change anything and everything for everyone.
Wow, that was mind-blowing. And I think this is just one of the things which you have elaborated in the book. और बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, उसके लिए आपको ये सेल्स बुक को पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Let me share that sales book cover again. It's Get Up and Rise. It's a complete workshop in a book, and it will help you boost your sales success. An amazing book coming up by Rajeev Narang sir, the one and only transformation consultant who actually believes in the sure shot success, come what may. And I've seen him working like this, so I can confidently say this. सर, ये जो आपने पूरा बताया है 20/4 रूल, ये सेल्स पर्सन को जाने से पहले तैयार करना है, राइट? मतलब जब वो एक मीटिंग में जा रहा है उससे पहले तैयार करना है।
मीटिंग के वक्त वाली जो जगह है वो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है। मतलब आपको मीटिंग अपॉइंट हो गया, आप इन यू ऑलरेडी रेडी, यू रेडी फॉर दिस, सो समबडी इज इनवाइटेड यू एट 11:30 Tuesday my office, so let's say it like this. So somebody has to be there, so somebody has told me I will be there, so I know when I'm going to enter. Before that, make sure that you look tidy, make sure that you're not sweating, make sure that you're not smelling bad, make sure you've not eaten a pan parag or a gutka there. Make sure, I mean, so I'm not questioning anybody's choices of thing, but make sure that once you've done, if you're doing it, so for example, if you've smoked, make sure that your mouth is still fresh. Yeah, so
conscious रहना है कि
conscious रहना, and you have to, and this is a choice that people have to make. Sherry, I'm a firm believer of making choices and respecting them. So if you choose to do something or get something, it will happen. वो क्या कहते हैं ना, उसे जब पूरी शिद्दत से आप किसी चीज की डिमांड करते हो तो सारी कायनात आपके लिए उस पर काम करती है। इट्स द सेम थिंग। अगर आपने चुन लिया कि ये होना है तो वो होगा। तो आई डोंट वांट टू साउंड लाइक अ मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर कि ये सब चीजें होंगी, मैं उसमें से कोई बात नहीं करता हूँ क्योंकि मैं तो जी के काम करता हूँ। आई एम अ कर्मा पर्सन, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट एनीथिंग एल्स। सो मुझे लगता है कि आप अगर प्रिपेयर होके जा रहे हो, आपके पास सारे सवालों के जवाब हैं, आपको ने तैयारी कर रखी है पहले, ये भी उस बुक में से एक है कि आप अगर जाने से पहले, इफ यू नो दैट यू हैव टू मीट समबडी, इफ यू कैन एक्चुअली प्रिपेयर, थिंक अबाउट अ गोल ऑफ योर प्रेजेंटेशन, क्यों मिलने जा रहे हो, what should be the desired outcome. When if somebody decides that कि मुझे ना यहाँ से मैं जब कहूँ तो सबको ये वाला, इनको ये जवाब मिल जाना चाहिए, उसको मालूम, और उसके साथ ये प्लान कर लूँ that what can be the possible objections or the questions that the person should have, and then also to plan and prepare for that. Okay, if he asks me this will be my answer. If he asks me this will be my answer. So if you are prepared for that, and still there's a lot of flexibility and fluidity in your preparation, कि ये ना हो कि मैं तो कहा था क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 ये होगा, क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 होगा, बीच में कुछ और आ गया तो मेरे पास तो पता नहीं होगा. So not a rigid way of preparing, but be prepared, be planned, and I think उस पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे आप तो रेडी हो, पहुंच गए, उसके बाद जो ये 20:4 रूल है वो काम पे आता है. अब आपने तैयारी सारी कर रखी है लेकिन आप अच्छे दिख नहीं रहे हो, तो आपकी स्टार्टिंग गलत हो जाएगी, आपकी तैयारी फेल हो जाएगी. आपने मालूम है कि आप सारे क्वेश्चंस लेके गए हो, लेकिन एक आदमी आपको नहीं पता अपने रूम में उस पर्टिकुलर मोमेंट पे कैसे बैठा है. उसके बॉस ने उसकी अभी भी बैंड बजाई हो सकती है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, कुछ भी, तो आपको नहीं पता है कि वो वहां पे किस स्पेस में बैठा है, और वो आपके ना इंतजार नहीं कर रहा है. आई मीन प्रिपेयर्ड वो भी होगा दैट देयर इज अ मीटिंग व्हिच इज गोइंग टू हैपन, बट देन ही मे नॉट बी एसेंशियली वेटिंग फॉर यू, ही वुड हैव हिज ओन एजेंडाज इन लाइफ, वो अपनी चीजों में है. तो जब आप ऑब्जर्व करते हो पहले 20 सेकंड्स में, तो आप उसको उसकी उस स्पेस में से निकाल के अपनी स्पेस में लाते हो जो आपने उसकी स्पेस से डिराइव किया. आई डोंट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, सॉरी, बट देन आपने जो ऑब्जर्व किया है उसी के बारे में आप उसको ही बता के उसकी ही स्पेस से निकाल के इस स्पेस में ले आते हो, सो दैट ही बिकम्स प्रेजेंट टू द इन द मीटिंग. एंड वंस ही इज प्रेजेंट इन योर स्पेस ओनली, फिर कन्वर्सेशंस कैसी होंगी?
माइंड ब्लोइंग,
है ना. तो 20/4 रूल उस वक्त का रूल है. उस वक्त जब आप बिल्कुल मीटिंग के लिए वहीं हो, तैयारी में हो, तो आपने जो अपने पहले ये 20 काम किए, 20 टॉप एंड द फर्स्ट 20 वर्ड, सेकेंड्स एंड स्टेप्स, दैट विल डिफाइन द जर्नी दैट योर प्रेजेंटेशन, योर मीटिंग विल टेक. कभी कभी आप लोगों से, हम लोगों से क्या होता है, हम क्योंकि अपनी सारी तैयारी के बावजूद इन छोटी सी चीज का ध्यान नहीं रखते हैं, तो जो प्रोस्पेक्ट होता है या कस्टमर होता है, वो पहले आपको देख के किसी वजह से इरिटेट भी हो जाता है. अरे इसमें बहुत, देखो सेल्स में बहुत ज्यादा बिहेवियरल, साइकोलॉजिकल और सोशल बहुत सारे एलिमेंट्स हैं जो इसको इम्पैक्ट करते हैं. इट इज नॉट ओनली ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट कि आपने माल देना है, मैंने पैसे देने, चलो अच्छा है तो ठीक है. नो, इट इज नॉट अबाउट दैट. तो वो जो ह्यूमन एलिमेंट है इस पूरे प्रोसेस में, वो तो अपना रोल प्ले करेगा ही.
As they say, sales is all about human psychology.
It is.
और इतनी बारीकियां हैं और वो सारी बारीकियां आपने हमें इस इंटरव्यू में बताई हैं. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर शेयरिंग योर विजडम विद अस. आई एम श्योर दिस गोइंग टू हेल्प लॉट ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट पीपल हु आर लिसनिंग.
आई होप सो.
सुपर. सर, एक अगला सवाल मैं आपसे ये पूछता हूँ कि आजकल ब्रांड्स ऑनलाइन बिल्टअप हो रहे हैं. लाइक PSI, MS Stocks also started its journey online, and we have seen many D2C brands emerging, inviting our attention in digital space. तो can this lead to the reduced growth of offline distribution channel? लगता है आपको ऐसा कुछ होगा?
Okay, it's a very sensitive issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. क्योंकि इस हम सब लोग, I mean, so right now we are online right now and creating this interview.
Yeah.
Right. So it is कितना मजा बहुत ज्यादा आता अगर हमें सामने फेस टू फेस बैठ के करते. करेक्ट. वो एक अलग स्टोरी होती. इसका मतलब क्या हम कभी नहीं मिलेंगे? नो, आई डोंट थिंक सो. आज नहीं मिल रहे. राइट. सो आज क्या हो रहा है कि जब हम नहीं मिल पा रहे हैं, so this online business has become a facilitator for us.
Yeah.
ठीक है. तो ये अभी इस बारे में हुआ. And as you said, PSI and MS Talks and you yourself have become a brand online. So rule of the game different है क्योंकि आप पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग में हैं. जैसे मैंने कहा कि पर्सनल ब्रांड्स जो हैं वो ऑनलाइन पे ज्यादा काम करेंगे ही करेंगे. आपको ऑफलाइन, अब लेकिन आप क्या ऑफलाइन इवेंट्स नहीं करते हो? करते हैं, बिल्कुल करते हैं. करेक्ट. तो आप वहां पे क्या कर रहे हो? आप वहां पे कर रहे हो एक कंटेंट क्रिएशन है उधर भी.
Right.
उधर भी एक 1-to-1 फिजिकल एंगेजमेंट है.
Yeah.
और उस कंटेंट को वापस आप सोशल मीडिया पे लाते हो.
करेक्ट.
ठीक है सर. सो इफ यू नोटिस, नन ऑफ दीज थिंग्स आर वर्किंग इन आइसोलेशन.
Yes.
तो आप इवेंट कर रहे हो और उसको सोशल मीडिया पे दिखा रहे हो, ऑनलाइन दिखा रहे हो. राइट. और जब हम ये ऑनलाइन अभी बात कर रहे हैं, इसका इम्पैक्ट हमें नजर आएगा ऑफलाइन बिजनेसेस में. करेक्ट. सो आई डोंट थिंक इन दोनों में से कोई भी एक चीज है जो कि ना आइसोलेशन में काम कर रही है.
मतलब इंटीग्रेटेड है. जो आप ऑफलाइन में कर रहे हो वो आप ऑनलाइन में भी दिखा सकते हो, और जो ऑनलाइन में कर रहे हो वो ऑफलाइन में भी दिखा सकते हो.
मैं इसको ये नहीं कहूंगा दिखा सकते हो, मैं कहूंगा ये तो मस्ट है, दिखाना
पड़ेगा.
So they can't work in isolation. The times have gone कि आप सिर्फ ऑफलाइन करोगे, and times have also gone कि आप सिर्फ ऑनलाइन करोगे. See, ये तो मैं आपके पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग के पॉइंट से बात करता हूँ. अगर मैं प्रोडक्ट्स की बात करता हूँ, the companies, the way, if I really talk about that. So if you rightly said there are many D2C brands which have come in, and when I say D2C, I'm sure we for sake of everybody's knowledge, it is direct to customer brands.
Yeah, direct to customer.
Yeah, so we know there are many brands who are selling only online, and they're trying to catch us online through advertising on Facebook, on other medias, and say अच्छा ये खरीदो, and there are so many of them जिनको हम retail space में नहीं देखते हैं. Right. So I give you an example, and I think because वो मेरे client नहीं है तो मैं इसलिए बोल सकता हूँ, उनका नाम ले सकता हूँ. There's a brand called WOW, WOW.
Okay.
Now that's a wellness brand. So they are into Ayurveda based, non-chemical based, a lot of personal care products like creams and shampoos and conditioners and etc. And I think I got to know about them almost like 1 year or 1.5 years ago, or 1 year ago. I was just checking for some of my other brand in the similar category. I wanted to work. So I was searching for brands. And then the ad of this brand came to me on my Facebook. I actually checked, and for sake of trying to see how they work and what is their product line, I ordered something. And then it came. It was wonderful product. It was a wonderful packaged product. And I know the price I was paying for it was there, but I didn't care because it was delivered to me at home and all that. And through that process, through that time, because I had searched, and the way social media works and the advertisers work, if you've searched for something, they will crawl behind you and they will follow you, and they'll reach out to you, and they'll keep showing you that if you've shown interest in a particular category, they'll keep showing you different brands. So that continues to happen, and all these brands are things which I have not seen online or on retail shelf. But when after almost like 3 months ago, in my market, my neighborhood market, I saw that product which was till now online was available offline also. Now, this is the story. What is the story? The story is that on digital space, somebody has, by engaging people, advertising, and through making their, bringing in the, broadening their footprint online, they have actually been able to create a demand for that brand. And after a couple of years, it is so much demanded that if I go out in the neighborhood market and say, "Aapke paas wo nahi hai," so so then the retailer is bound to keep that product, and then he would reach out to that company and say, I want to handle your product. And at the end of the day, that particular product reaches onto the shelf and the business grows. You'll also notice, so coming just to the point I'm trying to make here is, no one works in isolation. It doesn't mean that the numbers of online business are, are reducing. It is not like that. Yes, there is a lot of pressure in the retail space, especially when we talk in terms of white goods, electronics, so televisions, refrigerators, everything, because now especially televisions, computers, etc., mobile phones for that matter. It's happening, so much happening online. But then there are companies like Samsung, Sony, and all these people. They've also started working on what you call as an omni-channel approach, where people can actually, buy from search at one place and land up buying in the other space.
Mm-hmm.
So online dekho, compare karo, sab kuch karo, and then you'll end up being at the offline space, or could be supplied by an offline retailer. So it is now the brand's responsibility to become, to be available. देखो, पर हर बिजनेसमैन या हर बिजनेस अपना माल वहां प्रमोट ज्यादा करेगा जहां पे वो बिकता ज्यादा है. आज if the consumer behavior has moved in favor of online, brands will go there. We can't challenge them. वो तो करना ही पड़ेगा. But then I would not say that the numbers, that the growth of offline businesses are going. Then nobody can do without. I mean, अब bread आज भी अपने पड़ोसी की दुकान से लेना पसंद करते हैं. And there is a lot of, and also पता है क्या, इंडिया में there is still a lot of that one-to-one physical interactions which are very important. हम आज भी छू के देखना चाहते हैं, हम आज भी
touch and feel,
स्मेल करके देखना चाहते हैं,
विंडो शॉपिंग,
या तो हम उसको करना चाहते हैं, और वो एक्चुअली इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, और वो मुझे लगता है कि कभी नहीं होगा. एंड इफ यू सी द बिग लार्ज रिटेल चेन्स फ्रॉम द वे दे आर वर्किंग ऑन द टेक्नोलॉजी, द ऑनलाइन बिजनेसेस, they are integrating. You have distribution systems which are now available using technology, and they are integrating both offline and online business. So at the end of the day, लेकिन consumer सबसे important है. Whatever works from him, brands will have to work for that.
सर, आपने भी ना बिल्कुल वही वाला आंसर दिया जो एक्चुअली में मैंने अपनी फाइंडिंग में पाया. चाइना में ना फिजिटल वाला कॉन्सेप्ट आ गया, फिजिकल प्लस डिजिटल, सो इट्स फिजिटल. तो यहाँ पे मिस्टर केएस भाटिया भी है चंडीगढ़ में, उन्होंने अपना ब्रांड नेम ही phygital.com से शुरू करा.
I think the pressure cooker man.
हाँ. तो बहुत सारे एक्चुअली उन्होंने ना प्रोडक्ट्स अपने इसी तरह से डिजाइन करे कि कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स उनके शोरूम में अवेलेबल है, कुछ ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल है. And if somebody goes and just orders it, तो उन्होंने अपने वेयर हाउसेस बना रखे हैं उस लोकेशन में, तो कस्टमर जब अपने घर पहुंचता है उससे पहले वो प्रोडक्ट डिलीवर हो जाता है. सो दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट. तो फिजिकल और डिजिटल का कॉन्सेप्ट बड़ा आजकल एकदम लाइमलाइट में आ चुका है. एंड एज यू राइटली सेड कि एक्चुअली इट कैन नॉट बी आइसोलेशन. आई थिंक आई टोटली एग्री टू दैट.
इट कैन नॉट बी.
या तो सर, एनी मैसेज फॉर मॉडर्न डे मार्केटर्स, ब्रांड मैनेजर्स, आज की डेट में जो नए लोग आ रहे हैं जो बोलते हैं आपका ब्रांड बना दूंगा मैं आपकी लाइफ गेम चेंज कर दूंगा, उनके लिए कोई मैसेज आपका?
सी, thank you for saying modern day marketers. मुझे पता लग रहा है where do I belong. Thank you so much. No, but on a serious note, see, there are two messages I have to give. One is I want, today there's a lot of stress when we talk about into the corporate culture. There's a lot of stress in the market in terms of numbers, in terms of businesses have to take a growth with last year's dilemma. Businesses are under pressure, और इस वक्त हमें बहुत सारी चीजें करनी पड़ेंगी जो कि हम डेस्परेशन में भी करते हैं. कई बारी हमारे पास बजट्स नहीं है, फिर भी हम करना चाहते हैं. We'll have to find out innovative ways of how to have more meaningful conversations with the consumer, and then keep them continuously working, being loyal to us. Brand loyalty any which ways is in deep trouble, because now with online happening and with D2C brands coming up, there are a lot of options. So मेरे लिए जरूरी नहीं है कि मैं same cream use करता रहूँगा जिंदगी भर. So there are lots of pressure. So I think it is a very non-corporate answer that I'm going to give for this. The first solution message is a non-corporate one, but I really want all the marketeers and brand managers and promoters and CEOs, whoever are the brand custodians, to be happy. They have to stay happy. They have to choose happiness, simply because only if you are happy yourself, you will be able to create happy customers. And only when happy customers are there, that means they're satisfied with what you're doing, they will be happy brands created. सो
सर
अगर आप अच्छा काम करना चाहते
सर
हो,
ये हैप्पी करते हैं आपने कितने करोड़ों की टर्नओवर बना दी कंपनीज की है, सबको हैप्पी खुद भी आप हैप्पी रहते हो
या
और
बिकॉज
दूसरों
मुझे
को
लगता
भी।
है कि हम ना बड़े दुखी हैं यार, मतलब हम लोग को बहुत प्रेशर है, काम हो नहीं रहे हैं, बजट्स है नहीं है, मार्केट में प्रेशर बहुत है, वो सब कुछ हो रहा है, वो सब रहेगा और हम उसको बदल नहीं सकते हैं, हमारे कंट्रोल में वो भी सब कुछ नहीं है, सब कुछ नहीं है। और
अमेजिंग।
अलग अलग लेवल पे देखो लोग काम कर रहे हैं, हर एक के पास उतनी डीप पॉकेट्स नहीं है बजट्स के नाम पे। तो हो सकता है, मैंने अपने करियर छोटी कंपनीज में किया है, तो मुझे मालूम है कि वहां पे जाके किस तरह के प्रेशर्स है, पर उन छोटी जगहों पे हम किस तरह के क्या इनोवेटिव आइडियाज निकाल सकते हैं मेरे रूल नंबर 2 के लिए, क्योंकि मैं इससे रिलेट करूंगा इसलिए मैं इस बात को यहाँ छोड़ के बोलता हूँ। बिकॉज मेरा मेरा मैसेज नंबर 2 इज एक वो सो व्हेन वी हैड this Vidya Balan playing the role of Silk said in the movie कि there are only 3 rules are entertainment, entertainment, entertainment,
एंटरटेनमेंट।
right? मार्केटिंग में मुझे लगता है कि एक और जो मैं रूल ये कॉर्पोरेट है is engagement, engagement, engagement.
वंडरफुल।
Yeah? So if you can keep your customer,
या
your end user, the influencer engaged in your this scheme of things, in your business, in your you know their interest is engaged in your brand, I think वो हो जाएगा। और हमें एंगेज करने के ही वो इनोवेटिव आइडियाज ढूंढने होते हैं जो कि हमारे कस्टमर को एंगेज करके रखें, चाहे आपके पास बजट है चाहे नहीं है। और मुझे लगता है कि हमारी सिचुएशन में वो स्टोरीज बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करती हैं। मैं इसमें I'll take a minute on this and I would like to elaborate because that I think
श्योर।
in our lives if we choose to do that, one, you have to be happy, second is you have to find out ways to engage your customer and your customer's customer, whoever is paying for your brand. I have created for two, I mean I would like to talk about 2 programs here. One is Kahani Zid Ki and another one is Stubborn Souls on the Ramp. Now these two programs are the projects which are not directly associated with the brands, but then they create, as they are integrated with the brand DNA in such a fashion that people can't remain engaged with that. मैं आपको एग्जांपल देना चाहता हूँ. There is this brand called Zoro Bond and I am very close to this program called कहानी जिद की. So that is the program. आपका मार्केट में जो काम हो रहा है होने दीजिए, because there is a product called Zoro Bond and it's a white glue और वो कहती है जोरो जिद्दी है, छूटे ना छूटे. तो हमने कहा ठीक है भाई, हम उस पर बहुत ज्यादा एडवर्टाइजिंग का पैसा तो खर्च नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो हमने यहाँ पे कहानी जिद की शुरू की, जिसमें हमने लोगों के साथ उनकी जिद के बारे में बात करना शुरू किया. और अपनी जिद मतलब आपने कौन सी जिद करी जो छोड़े ना छूटी, और आपने अपने गोल पार लिया. तो ये इस तरह से एसोसिएशन क्रिएट की और आज सोशल मीडिया पे, ऑनलाइन पे ये धीरे धीरे करके चल रहा है. एंड पीपल आर टॉकिंग टू अस, पीपल आर रिलेटिंग टू इट, पीपल आर गेटिंग एंगेज्ड टू इट and making sure that it happens. So I can say this is one of the areas, one innovative of doing innovation that we did without having too much to spend on it. And similarly for a brand called La Intimo, which is into innerwear. So that is where we wanted to have an all-inclusive kind of a program where we had specially abled people to be on the ramp on fashion in a fashion show. That they can also be they are stubborn souls. They are the ones who can actually do it. So just thinking beyond the the promise of a brand, if we just create engaging stories around it, we can do a lot of work. So the rule number 1,
ये यहाँ आप पहले कंप्लीट करो फिर मेरे को
rule
सवाल
number
आ रहा है.
1, stay happy. Rule number 2, engage.
अमेजिंग. और सर ये जो आइडियोलॉजी है ये कहाँ से लाते हो आप कि ना, तो वो वाला जिद, कहानी जिंदगी की एनालॉजी आपने जो व्हाइट फेविकॉल है उसके साथ आपने जोड़ दिया.
फेविकॉल नहीं है वो,
that is something related to the pasting.
It's a white adhesive.
White adhesive. Yeah, adhesive is the right term. My apologies for that. So white adhesive के साथ आपने वो जिद वाली एनालॉजी कैसे कनेक्ट करी? मतलब ये वाली आइडियोलॉजी कैसे सोचते हो आप? इस वाले माइंडसेट में आप कैसे जाते हो, कैसे उतरते हो, इसके बारे में थोड़ा बताओ.
अच्छा, ये इंटरेस्टिंग है. मतलब ये अपनी सारी ट्रिक्स दे दूं आपको.
हेलो सर, कुछ थोड़ा सा एलैबोरेट करो कि आप कैसे जाते हो, क्योंकि यूजुअल बिजनेस ब्रांडिंग स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है ये बेसिकली क्या है कि आप कुछ आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स सोच रहे हो, तो क्रिएटिविटी ला रहे हो आप बिजनेस में. वो कैसे आ रही है?
इसको भी मेरे पास तो हर चीज के 2 ही जवाब होते हैं। तो पहला जवाब तो ये है कि देखो दोस्त कि कुछ चीजें एक्सपीरियंस से आती हैं, कुछ चीजें गॉड गिफ्टेड होती हैं, ये उनमें से एक है। दूसरा जवाब आपके ना मेरी आपकी ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट में था, जब आपने मुझे मेरे बारे में बोला था कि दैट आई पोजीशन माई सेल्फ एज अ पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी एंड कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन। ओके, नाउ व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट दैट बीइंग क्रिएटिव, सो आई नो देयर इज अ क्रिएटिव एलिमेंट इन मी, मेरे डीएनए में कुछ क्रिएटिव कंपोनेंट है। तो मुझे लगता है कि वहां से मुझे आई गेट दोज आइडियाज एंड आई लुक अराउंड पीपल एंड स्टफ. However, I also have this possibility of contribution coming in, which is about being compassionate to about and being empathetic about a little socialistic approach that I'm talking about here. So मुझे लगता है कि every brand, small or big, capable or not capable, not having big budgets to invest and giving back to the society, should create some projects which engage the brand, which associate the brand with the social cause. तो आपके बात देखो, ब्रांड की बात भी होती है और आपके किसी से उस बहाने एक अच्छा काम भी हो जाता है, राइट? तो मैं एग्जांपल, शुरू कहाँ से हुआ था? शुरू हुआ था जब आपने फेंक मत गाड़ी से सड़क पर की बात करी। मैंने वो प्रोग्राम शुरू किया फेंक मत। मैं एक एजुकेशन कोर्स का पार्ट था, आई वाज लर्निंग ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम, एंड वी वर आस्क्ड टू क्रिएट अ सोशल प्रोग्राम which you are not going to run, people are going to run for you. So it was a tough one, and that was the time Commonwealth का time था वो. Commonwealth के time पे we were talking about, everybody was talking about very foreign से बहुत लोग आएंगे, बहुत टूरिस्ट आएगा, our city should be clean, so do not do this. तो ये स्वच्छ भारत अभियान तो अभी जब मोदी जी के आने के साथ शुरू, उससे पहले ये जनरल एक बातचीत चल रही थी, because it's going to be an international event and we better be looking nice. So आप प्लीज मत थूकिए मत, फेंकिए मत, ये मत करिए. But I realized that there was a lot of, there's a lot of littering happening when people used to throw things out of the moving cars. आपने मूंगफली खाई बाहर फेंक दिए, संतरा खाया बाहर छिलके फेंक दिए, तो this was happening. So I realized इसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं कर रहा है. तो मैंने ये सोशल प्रोग्राम तब शुरू किया कि हमने कहा सबको कहेंगे भैया ये गाड़ी में ना ये लो बैग, एक फेंक, हमने बैग्स बनवाया डिस्पोजेबल, और हमने कहा ये बैग है, बस आप सिंबॉलिकली इसको रखना शुरू करें और इसमें डालें, बाद में आदत पड़ जाएगी, घर से अपना बैग और ले.
और ये बैग आपने फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट बांटे?
ये हमने फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट बांटे थे उसको. तो जब वो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, मैंने पहली बार तो बहुत थोड़े से बांटे और सिंबॉलिकली दे दिया, और उसके बाद जो टास्क तो यही था कि और लोगों को एंगेज करना इस काम में, और उस काम में एंगेज करने के बाद उनको कहना भाई अब आप चलाओ इसको. वो तो मेरी कॉस्ट नहीं लगती थी. फिर उन्होंने बनाने शुरू किया, अपना नाम उस पर डाला, और क्योंकि बड़ा सिंपल है, एक बैग आपका 15 दिन के लिए आपके गाड़ी में टंगा है और उस पर आपके ब्रांड का नाम छपा है, तो और वो 5 रुपए का बैग आपको 15 दिन की एडवर्टाइजिंग दे रहा है, इससे बढ़िया कोई चीज हो सकती है?
ब्रिलियंट.
ठीक है. तो मैंने उस दिन ये रियलाइज किया कि आप अच्छा काम जरूर करें, और अगर उसके अंदर किसी का ब्रांडिंग हो रही है तो इसमें कुछ गलत नहीं है, राइट? तो ये इनोवेशन जब वहां से मेरे अपने के लिए हुआ, और मैंने फिर होता गया था, मैंने अपने ना बिजनेस कार्ड पे फेंक मत छपाना शुरू कर दिया. मैं लोगों के पास जाता था और मैं उनको कार्ड देता, वो मुझसे ना ये नहीं पूछते थे क्या काम करती हो, कहते ये फेंक मत क्या है. तो द मोमेंट योर कन्वर्सेशन गॉट चेंज कि मैं फेंक मत बैग फिर उनको बताता था, उनको लगता है अरे बंदा अच्छा सही आदमी है, सिर्फ धंधे की बात नहीं कर रहा है, बस दुनिया की बात भी कर रहा है. एंड दे वुड सी, दे वुड रिलेट टू मी इन अ डिफरेंट फॉर्मेट, एंड देन द बिजनेस हैपेंड. क्योंकि आपके वो जो होता है ना बैरियर होता है कि यार ये तो धंधे के लिए आए तो अपने टर्म्स पे काम करेंगे, सब कुछ करेंगे, वो बैरियर थोड़ा हट जाता है, ईज आउट हो जाता है, तो आप करते. तो मैंने ये नोटिस किया कि जब मैं ऐसा कोई काम करता हूँ तो मैं पूरी शिद्दत से, पूरी इंटेंशन के साथ वो अच्छा काम कर रहा हूँ, उसको मैं कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर रहा हूँ. और मैं आपको बता के खुशी होती, मुझे कॉमनवेल्थ वाज लाइक व्हाट 11 इयर्स अगो. आज भी फेंक मत जिंदा है, आज भी कुछ कंपनीज उसको इस्तेमाल खुद कर रही हैं, खुद बैग बनाती हैं. देयर वर सो मेनी, आई मीन, so Mr. Ajit Gupta from Ebro he's contributed around, I think, 2 lakh bags, distributed 2 lakh bags through his own teams, through his own company. Everybody is doing it. So we have got many brands associated with that. तो मुझे लगता है कि जब आप इस तरह से पैरेलल एंगेजमेंट प्रोग्राम चलाते हो जिसमें आपका फायदा हो रहा है, एंड देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग विद दैट, लेकिन दुनिया भी बदल रही है. वहां से पैदा हुआ कहानी जिद की, ऐसे ही पैदा हुआ स्टबन सोल्स, ऐसे ही पैदा हुआ सो मेनी अदर थिंग्स. सो ऐसे करके वो जब चलता है, तो मुझे लगता है इसीलिए मैं स्टे हैप्पी की बात करता हूँ, ताकि आपको फिर ये टेंशन होने का मुझे अरे कौन करेगा, कैसे करेगा, किधर करेगा, अपने आप चल जाएगा.
Brilliant, sir. lot to learn from you. बहुत मजा आया बात करके आपसे, और बहुत ही क्रिएटिव आंसर्स, एंड आई थिंक my objective was just to bring out the best from somebody like you who's a sheer talent, and you have really supported with your brilliant answers, and I'm sure the viewers who are watching this are going to enjoy and learn a lot personally and professionally as well, क्योंकि आपने सारे component ना बहुत अच्छे तरीके से mix करके सब कुछ बताया है, and you have answered superbly all the questions. Goes without saying you are expert in that, and that is what we were looking at actually in this interview, कि आप सिर्फ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन सेल्स की बात ना करें, आप कुछ हटके बात करें. And I think you have given us so much in this interview, sir. So thank you very much for taking out the time.
Pleasure is all mine. Thanks to you that you invited me for this interview. It's so amazing. And everyone who's watching it and everyone who would watch it later, I think enjoy your life. Be in the moment. Don't think too much about what has gone by. Don't even think too much about what is due. But I think create that future and bring it accordingly in today's time. And all the best.
Thank you so much, Rajeev sir. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.